Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Kenny, and folks, you can see that we are in front of a car and we're going to be doing another review and an analysis on this particular car. This just happens to belong to my grandson, and this car is a '06 Toyota Corolla, and we are going to let you hear this thing run, and we're going to show it to you, so you hang around and we will let you hear this engine run very shortly. All right, now folks, we're going to show you this engine. We have started this engine and we want you to get a good look at this, and I want to tell you a little bit about this engine. Toyota has a reputation of going, like I have stated previously, just keep right on going. This is an '06. It's got a 16 valve engine here that I'm telling you is running very quiet and very, very smooth. Now you keep in mind, folks, my grandson bought this vehicle. He gave about $2,800 for it. And I'm going to tell you, Toyota has a reputation. The body on a lot of these Corollas will begin to fall apart before the motor stops running. You need to keep that in mind if you're interested in buying a vehicle. Get something that's gonna go for the long haul. And I'm talking about something that will run and keep right on going. This thing gets about 30 miles to the gallon. It's automatic. And I don't know how many sets of tires have been put on it during the time that it has run. Now keep in mind, 230,000 miles and still going. This car is good for another 100, maybe another 150,000 miles. So you see the economy part and what's really at stake here about a car. And let me tell you, these days the differences in cars is pretty obvious, and it's not just in the way they look, it's how long they run. So I'm going to kill this engine. Now I want to give you some tips on what to look for and what to expect when you go to buy a used vehicle. The first thing, tip number one, when you're looking for a car or a truck, you need to look at a particular model that's got great reviews, that has got a reputation of manufacturing quality. You don't want to buy a vehicle just because it looks good. It could look great, and inside and outside, on the motor part I'm talking about here, it could be a lemon. You don't want to go and buy a car in the dark. Let me tell you, look and do your homework and make sure you look at a brand like Nissan, Toyota, Honda, etc., etc., etc. Ones that have a reputation of building quality. Now that's very important. Tip number two, when you're looking to buy a used car, what you want to do is you go and you check it out thoroughly. Now I'm talking about looking under the hood. I'm talking about you check it out. If you could, get a mechanic and let him really check it out. If you don't know a whole lot about cars, let him look it over for you and diagnose its problems before you inherit the problem by purchasing it and not really knowing anything about it. If you could get it up on a rack and really just analyze it, let him check it out thoroughly. Let him check it out thoroughly. And another thing you need to do, tip number three, you need to check the oil level, like this right here. Check that oil. Have a mechanic to look at that oil. If that oil looks really, really pale and maybe like a cloudy color, that's a possibility of engine trouble that it may even have. You don't want to mess with that. And another thing too, check that oil level. If it's down a quart or two, the oil level, run from that, because chances are that motor is burning oil. Now that's extremely important when you go to buy a vehicle. Now this car, as far as I know, with 230,000 miles on it, my grandson has just changed the oil in it. It does not burn any oil. And another tip number 4, you need to drive the vehicle first and really get to know it just a little bit and get to know how it feels and the power that it has. You want to make sure that it's got that before you buy it. Tip number 5, you want to know how much you're wanting to pay for a vehicle. You should know how much you want to pay for a vehicle before you go shopping. But you need to understand too that you can make a good decision on who to buy. Buy a vehicle from someone that you may know or someone that you could trust, and maybe something like Craigslist or Marketplace. And if you don't know how to negotiate with a person about a car and you've never bought a car before, take someone with you that can negotiate a little bit and get a good deal. And that way you'll feel better about the overall picture because you got a good deal. And there's nothing wrong with getting a good deal, but you need to follow those tips. And let me tell you, I hope this would be helpful for you. And I'm going to say this much about buying a used vehicle. When I first bought my first car, I'm telling you, I never knew anything about it at all. I did a shot in the dark, and I bought a car without checking it out and without knowing anything about it. And I discovered that there was all kinds of mechanical problems wrong with it after I bought it. Don't wait and to find out that there's everything in the world wrong with a car after you buy it. You want to check it out before you buy it. So listen, for those of you that are new viewers, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up if you like this. And listen, as always, you have a wonderful, blessed day, and we'll talk to you later.